Gonna go straight for it. Oh. Why does suffering exist as it is? Like there's a phenomena of suffering that's happening, but different conjunctions and junctions of choices made by quote unquote, your decision making leaders. They're either complying with something for the greater benefit, or they're not complying with something for the greater benefit. Because why does suffering exist? It's because there's a plateau of truth and there's a plateau of realness. And since that truth and that realness is at a plateau, they're not being real with themselves, what they have to do to quote unquote comply, end quote, with some type of working solution that needs some type of follow-up process so the solution can be even implemented to begin with. Because why does suffering exist particularly? Because there's a plateau of truth and realness. The truth and the realness is lost. Someone will be like, oh, there is a solution and I could like share the solution, but what would that do for me? Or like there is a solution and I have to meet this person halfway. I have to comply with this type of shit, but that's not going to make my ego look good, for whatever reason. Fuck that type of shit, So the solutions have been here for a while, since like 2012 type of shit, respectively. But the thing is, there's just a unique hold that the ego has. The different egos on the earth, on the collective earth, there's like different and I don't want to put them as like quote unquote entities per se. I rather put them as like archetypes of energy, because we're all like more or less kind of like participating with them. So I'm not saying that they're entities per se. I'm saying that they're archetypes that we're influenced by, and they're there, and they have their own level of just like their own unique level of transformation or not, So and anybody could get the best of us because we're all wearing some type of like costume, and within people wearing their costume, you never quote unquote really know quote unquote who's who, right? And within that, there's this casual standard drama narrative dynamic on Earth where people get taken advantage of, right? You can't tell me that that's not going on. That shit has been fucking going on for a while. For me to voice it and like, for me to just to voice it because that's what I've witnessed, and for me to somehow lean towards change because I'm witnessing, or I'm like, coming out of like, the detrimental, outdated system and like what phenomena it caused. That's why I'm expressing it, So why does suffering really exist? And I just have a particular type of logic. Like, in the end, I'm not necessarily trying to egotistically compete with anybody. There's no one to compete with. The fucking truth is the fucking truth, and the solutions are the solutions, and it's up to you, the individual, regardless of your facade, if you're gonna work with that shit or not. And for you to try to cheat the spiritual realm and think that it doesn't see you, well, good luck with that. Whatever fucking fake president wants to run for the candidacy, or however you call it, the candidacy, I think that's what it's called. But like, so this is just a swift video, like why suffering exists and how like the quote unquote ego gets the best of us, and that ego is in the process coming out of quote unquote like detrimental mental programs, right? So as it's coming out of those detrimental programs, that's what Earth is. It's seeing what we've done with, what we've just done with like the physical Earth type of shit. And then this being what it is based on, there's been the more positive solution based influence. It was absent, right? For just whatever reason, because it's like, it's kind of following up, like saying like if God exists, why would he allow this type of shit? That's what this like whole Earth is like, kind of like, it could have the intelligence to ask that, but the thing is, that's the thing, the intelligence is, it's not there, it's not collectively there. Like, don't you get it? And that's the thing, we're all growing up in our own individual ego hoods, and as we're growing up within our individual ego hoods, we are we're kind of being like, we're kind of being pulled in both directions, like, are we gonna do this or are we gonna do that type of shit, and I'm not trying to paint it like good versus evil. That's just like, that's a different iteration of just a fragmented narrative, pretty much. So here it is. Here is a brief one. I feel like I had to say this because obviously, like, the predecessors, they've given us so much, they've given us so much. They just given, like, we're a product of what the predecessors have preserved, respectively. And if we want to, like, if we want to go against that, then maybe then maybe in future lives, then we'll see, like, how the solution will be further away from us, based on just a different type of resonance mechanism working, where the esoteric assessment is saying your ego doesn't want to comply, and it's like being fake with some stuff. As it's being fake with some stuff energetically, without the human to human and the rhetoric and the thinky mind shit. Like, the resonance will be like, you're accumulating fake false energies and a lack of truth, and that fake false energies is making your confused ego for what it is. Advanced esoteric type of shit. Thank you.